Hey, Soul Warriors, welcome here to this Saturday night soul session. It is absolutely not the soul session I had planned. Um, uh, and I'm going to do my best to get through this with y'all because um, it's very fresh and it's very new. My plan for tonight, many of us know that our beautiful friend, one of the greatest souls I've ever gotten to know, uh, Bradley Bagwell, has been sick. And and so when I talked to her earlier this week, I just thought we had more time. And then when I talked to her earlier today, I still naively thought maybe we had more time. And so my original purpose was to open this show that I was going to premiere um, an interview I did with Dr. Robb Kelly last week. I was going to premiere that live, but I wanted to open the show and just give everyone who knows Bradley and knew Bradley and everything she meant to this community and to people. I just wanted to give people a chance to show up. I wanted to be able to talk to her and say to her on her most favorite, in her most favorite way, which would have been this, which would have been live. I wanted to be able to say to her again what she meant to me and what she meant to this entire online recovery community. And I was hoping that people would show up and come in and share a story or give, write in the comments what she means to them and all that, in hopes that she would get to see that, in hopes that the recovery community that she helped build uh would would be able to show her love, and that she would feel that in what she was sure and I was sure would have been in her last moments. Unfortunately, as a lot of you all know, because there have been a couple posts, that she did not make it to see this live. And so the live took a whole different spin, and I'm gonna postpone premiering the other video in honor of her tonight. I want to give you a little bit of backstory of how I know Bradley, what she meant to me, and then I want to get into some comments because then I also want to address navigating, sorry guys, navigating grief in recovery, because not everybody's been through it in recovery, and it's a very tricky thing, and it's very, very hard because it's a lot of emotions, and grief is one of those things, especially in the face of losing a person that you love, that is feelings. And Bradley knew this very well because of the grief that she had gone through back to back to back over the last 4 years. It's one of those things that you can't get off of you. You can't you can't do much with it. And the closer the person is, and I always say grief and loss is the price we pay for love. And I wouldn't give up one for the other, because getting to love the people that we get to love in our lives means that there's a possibility that we may have to grieve the loss of them. But I wouldn't trade that for not knowing them at all. And so I just want to give a little backstory and share what's on my heart about Bradley. And I just can't get this thing out of my head that she was supposed to see this tonight. And I'm very grateful that I got to say these things to her earlier today. and then I want to get to some comments. So, you guys, please hang in there with me. I'm going to try not to talk too long because I want to give you guys the the ability to speak as well. If I can figure out a way how to pull some people on with me, I'd be happy to do that. And I don't care how long this goes. We can go all night if y'all want to. It doesn't matter to me. This is a pretty serious loss for a lot of people. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing my very best. I didn't realize it was going to hit me, but I'm with the people that she loves so much. I've managed to kind of hold it together with a few little breaks here and there up until now, but I'm sitting in her element. I'm sitting with the people that she loved. She loved every single one of you. And whether you're somebody that's new to recovery or new to this online recovery community, and whether you got to know Bradley, know of her, or didn't know her, what you enjoy right now with online recovery, she helped build. This was her platform. This was her passion. She sewed so much of herself into this because she, like so many of the rest of us, thought, if I can get this, y- y'all can get it. I promise y'all can get it. And she really utilized, and so have I, the relationships that we make here through all of this. We utilize that in our own recovery journey, in our own healing journey. It's almost like having a big meeting of people all around the world right here together. And so I met Bradley in about 2018. I think I'd been doing online recovery for maybe a year, and I would see her videos. And her videos were always so funny, especially when she and Bonnie would get together. They would be so funny and they'd be so fun because her biggest passion is that we can have fun in recovery. That will be her legacy. And she even said this to me today through winded breaths. Just let people know they can have fun in recovery. That it doesn't have to be dull and that it can be fun. And and so I would see her videos. I admired her so much because she was herself, unapologetically herself. I got an opportunity to speak with Bonnie earlier today, and we had to kind of giggle because we were saying, gosh, the videos and the contents that we used to do way back in the day would we just be canceled for now. But it was never anything out of wanting to hurt anybody. It was just about being lighthearted and fun. So I met her and I just had this instant kind of connection with her energy. And she invited me to come on this thing she created, which became iconic, called the Recovery Crawl that year. And I was honored. And through her light, which she didn't even realize that she shone this light, but through her light, she it let me know that I had people in my life that did not have my best interest at heart. And now she never knew, well, I think she did later on, we talked about it, that I made a choice for her before we ever really knew her because this other person had given me this ultimatum. Like somehow they were, if I chose to go on this recovery crawl, that I was somehow betraying them. And it was just this whole thing. But the thing is it allowed me to recognize a bright light of somebody completely separate that had no idea of this situation or even probably this person. It just shone this light through that I was able to say, this person, Bradley Bagwell, is authentic. This person who is asking me to choose is not. And I had this connection and this bond with her from there, and we just had so much fun and so many honest conversations that we became close friends, and, she iconically created, in her true style, in her true fashion, this thing called the recovery crawl, and it was instrumental in bringing people in this community together year after year after year. And she and her team of so many of you that are here did so much work to put this thing on. And it introduced people to people. It introduced friendships. It grew a sense of lightheartedness in the recovery process from such a dark place of addiction. I'm so grateful that we got to do a recovery crawl, that she got to do a recovery crawl this past year and do it again. Um, and so through her pain and struggles of which she was always so open to share, it it caused me to admire her more because recovery is imperfect. It's imperfect, and as long as you're authentic with the imperfection, I believe you're gonna be fine, and I used to tell her this in long conversations we'd have. As long as you're authentic in that this is imperfect and there is no one process, and it's not a cookie cutter situation that we're all on our own healing journey, and you're authentic with it, then you're still in recovery. You're still working towards that next thing, and she was so open about her struggles, and she has been through so much in the last 4 years, and she carried so much grief. How could she not? The people that she loved the most in the world, some of them really all passed away. So she was dealing with a lot of grief herself. And she might be kind of mad at me right now for being so upset. And she would want me to be celebrating her. And I really am celebrating her. I hope you guys know that that's what this is about. And once again, if you're joining late, this wasn't the plan. This was just supposed to be a showing of love so that she could see this. When she called me last week, she called me specifically to ask me if I would be her legacy contact for her Facebook page because she was just so adamant about um, keeping all of that fun being shared, to save her pictures and to just not let people forget who she was, who her son was, who I was honored to have a relationship with, Tad. And I just naively, because you don't know what to say, and I just really did not think we were at that point. And so I naively said, "Well, I'd be honored to do it, and of course I'll do it, but you're not going anywhere." And in that conversation, we made a pact, and I said, "Okay, well, whichever one of us goes first will visit the other. Let's let's decide what our symbol's gonna be." And I told her, I said, you decide what you want me to come visit you as." I said, "And if you go before me, I want you to come visit me as this rare bird that is very elusive on this island that I work on called a painted bunting. And it's this multicolored bird, and you rarely ever see it. And so if I saw it, then I would know for sure that she was coming to visit me. But today, when I talked to her, I inevitably knew that I couldn't be naive anymore and I could not deny where we were in the journey. And so, one of the things that I'm grateful for, again, in this situation that maybe I haven't gotten to be in the past, is in my denial, I took the opportunity to just tell her what she meant to me. To tell her that it was an honor of my life to be friends with her and to have her as a friend and to help build something with her that will be all of our legacies. As people will now have recovery at any time, at any place that they are in the world, that they can go on their computer and they will have recovery, that they don't have to white knuckle through, that there will always be somebody somewhere offering hope and strength. And so, as we as a community navigate through this grief, and we've lost a lot of people, we've lost people this year. So, this is compounded grief. As we navigate through this grief in our recovery journeys, in our healing journeys, let us honor the love that we have gotten to share, the people that we've known. Many of us, and we'll just be honest here, many of us abused our bodies for a long time. Sometimes that comes back. And I'm not saying that's the case here. I'm not a doctor. That's not what I'm implying. But I'm just saying, for all of us, we don't know how long we have. We don't know when our past may catch up to us. And so, if we take an example from Bradley, then we take an example to shine our light without having to be asked to shine it. Just shine our light. Be authentically who we are. If we're goofy, be goofy. If we're loving, be loving. Let us not shy away from relationship. Let us not shy away from loving people for the fear of loss. And let us surround each other in support and love as we all go through this together. Bradley was a big deal. She wouldn't think so, but she was a pretty big deal, especially in this space. And again, her legacy will live on, and it'll live on through us. And we will continue to have fun in our recovery and love each other dearly. Drop any of the bullshit that we got going on, any of the random arguments or envy or jealousy or whatever all the things are that happen in communities. And just remember that we're all here for a common goal. And that's to recover, to gain freedom from addiction, to shine our light where it has been dimmed by the power of addiction, to let other people know that there's hope for a better tomorrow, and it doesn't have to be mundane, and it doesn't have to be hell. She was a very special person, and she was very special to me. And right now, I'm going to try to bring some comments up here. I'm utilizing something for the first time here, so y'all bear with me. And it's Of course, I probably should not have touched that button. She would be laughing at me right now for all of these little mistakes. Oh, gosh. Joyce. Oh, thank you so much, Joyce. Joyce is here. Mary's here. Oh, gosh, please let my button go back. Let me push my button back. Because I wanted to try to bring these up on stage, these comments. Oh, gosh, now that button's just going away. Y'all bear with me, please. This is a very impromptu kind of a deal. Oh, I'm gonna push something. I don't know what's gonna happen. Yay. Okay, I think I'm back. I think I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna go to the top. And we're live here on 2, 4, 6, 7 platforms at once. So wherever you're watching from, I'm gonna do my best to see all the comments, but please leave them anyway. Even if they don't get here or they don't get recognized, leave them anyway. Because I'm gonna pin this for a while and I want people to keep coming and keep coming. And we're gonna do more special things for her. This is not my only tribute to her. There are going to be so many different things that we do throughout the next month and or longer, or I don't even know. This is so brand new. Um like I said, it was just already kind of planned, and I didn't know it was going to be this hard. Sarah Jane is here. I love you too, Sarah. It's very, very hard, and I know we're all hurting. We're all really hurting. Mary's here. Mary's been a great strength. Bonnie's here, and I know that you're so heartbroken, and I appreciate us all changing our profile picture. She would be so honored. She'd be so honored. I'm so sad too, Bonnie. Mary is kind of helping me moderate and point people out tonight, and helping me catch everything. So y'all just bear with me. Bonnie, I can try to. I mean, yeah, I can try to send you something. Here in just a minute when I can see if you want to come on. Sarah says, I remember our closest lives we did in my early days. She brought so much laughter to my life. Oh, those Freaky Friday videos, were they not the best? Like, those should have been YouTubes and shorts and for everything we have going on in the world now. It's almost like she was TikToking before TikTok was a thing. Brian O'Brien, thank you for coming up here. J JL. Oh, Maddie. Angie. It's super heartbreaking. Oh, yeah, it does hit different. It hits so different. This was something. Yes, she was jail. She was an exceptional woman, exceptional human being. Where he says, please tag who you feel may need or want to be here. Thank you. Angie says, I will forever remember my first recovery crawl. Those were the days too. It just seemed like we were all such a family, and I know that life has gotten really, really crazy for everybody this past year. This past year has been, I'd say even the past 2 or 3 years has been so kind of wild and chaotic for everybody, and in that time, we've kinda lost touch with people, or time has lapsed, and, I haven't even been able to be online that much, and, Bradley and I used to spend like she did with so many. She loved Marco Polo, and what a great app, I have to attribute that me discovering that app to her. But There was a time when we got to spend a lot of time on Marco Polo, and this year just hasn't been the same, and, it's very easy to try to go back and regrets because our mind is gonna wanna take us back to regrets. Our old programming will want to take us back to regrets, and it's going to be a conscious choice in your recovery to choose celebration versus regret. Because if we dig around, we can all find regrets, and they only become regrets when we lose somebody and we wish we had been able to do more. But please remember to give yourself grace in that situation as well, because you have to give yourself grace for the chaos that you were trying to overcome in your life, the learning, the journey that that you're on in your life, each individual. And we all stay within pure love energy. If we stay in that, then unless we just consciously choose to distance ourselves from someone, we cannot regret the time that we didn't get. It's that hindsight thing, and if you let it, it will harm you. If you let it will take you under. If you let it will take you back to the edge because unfortunately, the only way to escape grief in the moment, and remember it's only momentary, if you escape your grief via using, it will only be momentary, and it will add then something, a new loop for you to feel bad about. So I urge everyone that if you get to the point where your mind begins to overrun you and the grief becomes too much, that you have some sort of support system in place. And sometimes we got to be that support system for our fellow healers. We have to become that support system. If we're strong enough to become that support system for someone, let's don't hesitate to be it. It doesn't mean we're obligated and have to, don't let it add something to you. But if you feel it in your heart, be that support system for somebody else. But again, I urge you, in the face of grief, the most devastating journeys to go through in a recovery program, choose celebration. Something as small as changing the word loss or tribute to celebration will trick the brain into helping you see all the ways that you celebrate the time that you had with whoever it is you're grieving. I'm grateful, so grateful for the relationship that I got to have and the friendship and the sisterhood, because I called her sis all the time because I really feel that way. And when I call one of you sis or brother, I don't mean that in some cliche way. It's not just something I say. I mean that to my soul because that's what we are. We are soul family. We all are coming out and walking out of the same darkness. We are of one soul. We are a soul family. And even in our human moments, let us not forget that. We all share something so profound together that the world needs right now. This world doesn't even realize it needs recovery. We do because we recognize addiction patterns and we see it everywhere. It's just not dragging people under bridges and it's not necessarily dragging them out of their homes. And so they don't see it as the same thing as we've been through. But I see it. We recognize it. So the world needs what we got. And if Bradley's entire soul shone from love, then let us take those examples. There's so much that I'm going to take from Bradley and from this that I'm going to then utilize in my own life to make some positive changes and to remember who I am and what my passion is. to remember how much this community means to me through her. And being that legacy contact for her Facebook and getting to share that, people, for as long as I'm alive, are going to know who she was and how instrumental she was to building this that we love. And so I just want to show grace and love to everybody right now because this is no easy feat. Grief and recovery is no easy feat, and we can't be afraid to reach out. I want to say this because I feel like I can, and I feel like Bradley would allow me to say this. Bradley had so much grief within her. Mourning the loss of a child in such a tragic way with no answers leaves a mother. There's an emptiness in them, and there's a need to know why, what happened. And Bradley was so concerned about everyone else and everyone around her that she was afraid that her grief was going to make other people uncomfortable. And I feel like she bottled so much. We had deep talks about this. She bottled so much of that grief in order to keep others comfortable. That because there's no end time. There's no, oh, you get to grieve for this many weeks and then it's over. It will seem that way to people around you if they don't understand or if they're not experiencing the same thing. And there will be this thing within you that will want to make them more comfortable and hold your grief back. Please release your grief. If you're on a healing journey, this is a mind, body, spirit thing. You must release your grief. Please do not hold it inside of you as it festers, and it will manifest into health problems because as we hold energy in our body, it affects our cells. We're talking about this in the language of grief right now, but it happens with anger, happens with sadness, it happens with trauma. We pack that stuff into our body, and when it has no way to go because we don't speak about it, we don't have a network, we don't have a support system, or we just don't know how to deal with it, when we pull it in, it stays within our body, it stays within our cells, and we have to move. We have to celebrate and we have to be supported in this and we have to let this out. If it comes up for you to cry, cry. Please cry. Don't not cry. Crying is your body's natural way of releasing emotion. I'm sorry, I'm talking way too much and that's not what this is about. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to some more. Oh, gosh. Angela, love you, Sandy Miller. Let's see, Angela. Dickie was grateful to be a part of the recovery crawl, praying for all who knew and loved her. Thank you, Angela. Angela says back to Angie that she loves you too. Let's see. Aunt Mary says, Lona, that is our story. I will call that name out. Cherry Grooves on Facebook. Yep, she tried to destroy anything not attached to her. It was true. It was very, very true. We love you too, Sandy. Yes, shout out to Bambi Adams. There are so many people that are going to feel this and grieve this. Tears are liquid prayers of love. Well, that's the most beautiful thing I've heard today. Yes, I want to put this up. Angela, I'm going to read this. Bonnie is asking that we change our profile picture of one of Bradley Bagwell for the next 24 hours in remembrance of her and all she's done for our recovery community. Please do that. If you feel led, please do that. Thank you for doing this for her. Prayers and hugs and love. Thank you, Angela. Yes. Holly Fitch, Sandra White, Faith Nestor, who is too going through her own grief. These are double whammies. These things run all over you. Joyce says, my heart hurts, and I understand and feel you, Joyce. I love you too, Sandy. Holly Connell. And this is the most truest thing. He just says, none of us are promised tomorrow. Hey, Michelle. Rachel. She was always an open book, and that was one of the things I admired so much about her, Sandy, is that she was an open book, and she wasn't afraid to share because she knew, once again, that this is not a linear journey, and that it's not always pretty, and it's very imperfected, and I always admired her for sharing her truth. Even when she felt like she was going to be shunned or shamed, I believe that sharing our truth in an honest and open manner is the only way that other people can relate to us. I've got in 12 years of recovery, I don't always relate to the person just walking in the door anymore, not because I don't want to, but because I've become far removed from that. When somebody who's brand new sees somebody being authentic in their struggles, somebody that came from recovery, had was overwhelmed, talked about their triggers, talked about all of that. When they see that, I don't know, for me coming in, it was more hope filled for me to see somebody real. I didn't necessarily always. The reason I started doing online recovery is because I didn't always want to see the guy or the gal that had 20 years or 30 years because I did not believe that their story related to me. And so when I started doing online recovery and met Bradley, I think I was in my third year of recovery. I was strong enough and had gained enough insight to feel like I could share some things, but I also wanted to grow in real time with people, and let people see in real time that I was living what I was speaking about, which is I feel like you have to heal your roots. Addiction is just the symptom. Addiction is just the cure to what's ailing you deep in here. And so if we never heal any of this, if we never allow ourselves to see the shadows of our own selves, to recognize the patterns that keep us stuck, to go underneath that, recognize the belief systems that keep us replaying those patterns, then we will always be just hiding in weight of relapse over our shoulders. I didn't want to live like that. Angela says, Bonnie, I love you. You know you can blow my phone up if you need to. Prayers. That's amazing. Yes, Sarah Jane, she was pure authentic love. She was a bright, bright, bright light. That's right. Mary says we don't want anyone to grieve alone and be unsafe. She was absolutely a hoot. Yep, one day at a time. Okay, I'm going to try. She was singing the Lord's praises until the very end. She was. Even trying to sing through that oxygen, sweetheart. When we talked the last few times, it would have to be so short because she didn't have so much breath. And yep, Drew Hicks. Thank you guys for tagging people. Yep, trying to make stuff work on the computer has always been hilarious. JL says Augusta, Georgia over here, 2/6/2020 clean date for meth. So you came in 2020, man, and if you found this community in 2020, it was thriving. It was so fun. Yeah, Brian. Brian's I know Brian's sad. Jamie Boyd. Oh, I know there's so many hurting hearts out there right now. It doesn't seem real. It doesn't. Patrice. This is very heartbreaking. She was such a great, great person. She so was. Tammy Brooks says, rest in peace, Bradley. I love it. We can wear sparkling glass in the hats. She would still want us to be silly and weird. She would want us, all of us, to be let our freak flags fly. Oh, yes. Sandy says she got me started with my ministry. She did. She says I'll miss her. Sarah says she was one of a kind. She sure was. He says true Joyce. Yeah. Higgy. Me too. That was such a great time. The recovery crawl. Those recovery crawls were just epic. Epic, epic, epic. We all got closer during COVID when we had no other way to get recovery except for online. It blew up during COVID. I was forever, and Bradley and I would talk about this so much, was just forever floored with how amazing the online recovery community was during COVID because we just got in there and went hard. All of us. Gosh, I remember doing 6 day a week lives every day, just doing what we had to do to stay well, to stay well, to stay in flow, to stay happy, to stay connected. I miss those Marco Polos, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's give ourselves and each other grace, Angela. That is so true. Gosh, did it not? The COVID crawl rocked. Life changed for all of us. Her losing Tad, the whole crazy way. Yeah. How she found out. Yeah, it was just trauma after trauma after trauma. Angela, thank you for saying this. My messenger is always open for anyone who needs it. Please reach out. Yes, Sandy says, feel your feelings and don't let them overcome you. So true. And there's little bitty exercises that I utilize greatly in my life because y'all know I study NLP, neuro linguistic programming, in so many different modalities. And sometimes I will give myself a gap of time to just feel. I'll just feel, and especially if I'm in a space, and I've been this way this past couple of years where I've been so overwhelmed trying to run a business and take care of family and home and, you know, things happening, losing people, having my mom being sick and, being afraid to lose her, and just so many things that I used to beat myself up for having those bad days, negative days, but I realized that my negative days are just as authentic as my positive days, and sometimes even more authentic because they are screaming to be heard. And so I let myself be in that space for a length of time that's safe for me, and then I get up and move myself. And I mean, literally, will get up and go and do something else or move somewhere else, get out of the space that I'm in. You can't see me pointing at a frame here, but I'm pointing at my chair because this was the last time I had one of those episodes where I said, no, damn it, I'm going to feel this. I'm going to let myself be this booger and be in these feels for this amount of time. And then I set my time so that the overwhelm is not there. We need to help each other through the tough times. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Sarah says, when I talked to her the other day, she was so happy, and she is. And I'm in Hawaii living my best life because I'm clean today. And I remember, Sarah, when you were brand new here and just how much this community embraced you and how you gave back to this community. And we're all here. We're all where we are right now. If you came all the way back then, we're all where we are because of each other and because of Bradley. I'm sitting here on the beach in Hawaii knowing she's here laughing her heart out and singing to us from there. She is. I want y'all to know that I work on an island that's just surrounded by water. It's the Atlantic Ocean on one side and the Intercoastal Waterway on the other. And I've never in my life, and I used to send her videos from there all the time. And I sent her a video today because the water was so still. I had never seen the ocean so still. It was like a mirror out there. It was like glass. And the silence was so peaceful. And I sent her that little video and I said, this is very unusual. Peace is all around you. Like you are peace is just everywhere. I've never seen the water this still. It was just quite breathtaking and amazing. She gave a love that made it around the world. Oh, yes, she did. Yes, she did. Thank you, JL, for being here. She loved me. Thank you, Mary. She knew that she could always talk to me as she could always talk to me because I just will not ever judge anybody. Same with any of you all. You can tell me anything. I know this shit's imperfect. I know that it is. And I never want to see somebody suffer or fall deeper because they felt like they were going to be judged if they told the truth. Never on this end. There may be people out there that do that. No, I won't. I won't. I know where I've come from. I would never judge anybody. And she knew that too, and I'm grateful that we could have those conversations. She was there for me when my grandson passed away. Yeah. Michelle says she was there for me when my dad just passed. Crying is liquid prayers of love. Yes, it is. Thank you. She is. And she loved Jesus so much. She's there. Grandma Betty, Jesus, Grandma Betty, Tad, and her brother. I mean, she is surrounded by love. Good evening, family. Dana, thank you for being here. Oh, gosh. Tammy says this year has been too much. Damn, you are right. You are right. You are right. It has been a lot. And it's not over yet, y'all. Not to get cosmic on you through a stopped up nose. Bradley always loved this. But not to get cosmic, but you know I am. It's going to continue to be a lot, y'all. We're going to have a lot of exits, a lot of new new beginnings. There's going to be a lot of chaos. We are energetically, planetarily moving into a different time. And so a lot of things have to be shaken up. Get ready for your comfort zones to be shaken up. Get ready for the things that used to bring you peace, not to bring you peace anymore. The mundane routines that we all find comfort in because we can control them, those aren't going to hit the same way that they used to. A lot of things aren't going to hit the same way that it used to. Be fluid, adjust, keep hope. Know that we're moving into something new, and that we're all truly blessed to be here to see this time, as scary as it can be. She was the one who convinced me I could get up on a stage and share at the NA convention here in Hawaii, and yesterday I did that. Beautiful, Sarah. I'm so glad you're sharing your voice. You have so much to give. Tammy Brooks, I feel that. Just left another funeral early, going next week to bring my mom's ashes home. We've lost so many people recently. We have. We really, really have. I was 1 week clean when I met Bradley. That's tremendous. Now I have 6 years and 9 months. I'm so proud of you, Sarah. Jamie, Brian, Bonnie, and Bradley were all significant part of keeping me clean. I know they were, Sarah. I remember those early days, and I'm so proud of you. My inbox is always open for anyone who needs it, Michelle. Ah, gosh, I'm trying to read. Yes, sir. Maddie Jablonski is how I found Bradley Bagwell. Both wonderful people. Yep. Maddie's my brother from another mother. But I love his mother just the same, so maybe we're from the same mother. Because his mother is amazing. I was so honored to be a part of all the recovery crawls. You were a major part, Sarah. Sandy, remember the broadcasting game night with you? Were those not the best? Those were just, gosh, that woman knew how to have a good time and she knew how to coordinate people to come together and have those times. Oh, gosh, with her and Brian, I think, and Jimmy and Bonnie would be in all these different places doing all these different things. It was the best reality show to ever watch. 2020 was a great year in our recovery community. Drew Hicks was a great support for me then. Yep, he helped me back from another relapse and make some major decisions. I've been clean and sober since 7/4/20. Congratulations, Angela. That is a big deal. Joyce says Bradley and Maddie's videos were hysterical. Were they not? The Toothless Tuesday. And I never had the guts to join in. I wanted to join in so bad, but I never could just let myself be out there like that. And I love those two for that. I love them so much. I miss my fairy lives too. Recovery boot camp, Mary. I this just inspires me to continue to reach out, be a part of the community, and do more. Of Bradley and Grandma Betty singing. Yes, Joyce, were those not the best? Grandma Betty was a natural. I can almost kind of see where Bradley got her performative side as well, because Grandma Betty was a natural. But those videos used to crack me up. One of the the video that I watch over and over, y'all gonna have to excuse me. I brought no tissue to this. I brought no towel or anything to this, so my sleeve it just might be. Um, one of my favorite videos that Bradley used to do, because she used to do these little skits all the time. And if y'all have not seen them, if you're new to this and you don't really know Bradley that much, you came after 2020, 2021, go watch some TikTok videos, go to the Facebook page of Bradley's and watch those old videos. But one of her greatest skits was the making the higher power the doorknob. Ugh, that I don't know why that one cracked me up so much, but it was just so natural. She had such a gift for making people laugh, especially post hurricane in Atlantic Ocean. You are absolutely right. I could not believe how calm it was today, guys. I could not believe how glassy this was. We're all perfectly imperfect and just trying to walk each other home. Oh, that is so true. Thank you for holding this space for all of us today. Absolutely. Hi, Tesha. I sure wish this wasn't the live we had planned tonight. I did a great conversation, guys, with Dr. Robb Kelly last week, and I'm going to send him a notice and just tell him I'm going to postpone that premiere until next week. But this just takes precedence right now, and I wouldn't want such a I wouldn't want to cut any of this down in Bradley's honor to the vibes just would not have gelled. We really need to feel our sadness. We need to laugh and cry through all this. We need to laugh, we need to cry, we need to celebrate, we need to do all the things. And I'm grateful we're doing it together. Oh, I was terrified to hit that go live button each broadcast of the abundant recovery in Jesus, but you do it, Sandy, and I told you way back then, you're you're good. You are good on that. If anybody feels inspired to hit that live button and share some strength and hope, please don't hesitate to do it. If you feel it in your soul, if you feel it in your gut, if you feel a strong pull to do that, trust it and do it. Somebody, you never know what you could say or what your presence, how your presence could change or save a life. That is one thing that we never know or truly understand. Yes, Toothless Tuesdays were awesome. They helped me not feel insecure about my teeth. Me too. I got the rest pulled top bottom dentures a few years ago. Me too. And I wanted to join in their Toothless Tuesdays so much, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't. And I I admired them so much for doing that. Maddie and Bradley gelled so much because they have the same jovial spirit. They had the same passion. They shared that same passion in common, which was, man, this thing can be fun. It doesn't have to be so drab. This thing can be fun. And they were a natural team together. A natural team. I used to love in the early days of watching Bonnie and Bradley get on. 'Cause Bonnie had that funny but auntie, mother hen kinda vibe, and it was just always so funny watching Brad Bonnie give Bradley the business and then Bradley give it back, and I just used to really, really I just enjoyed that so much, and I miss it. I miss it. Hey, Jimmy. I hope you're okay too, buddy. Love you, Jimmy. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't mean to be losing it this much. Because then I can't read the comments. There's Skip from Hee Haw too. God, they used to do so much. I can't wait to really start bringing all this stuff back out because we're missing it. We're missing it. All the stuff that we loved. And so these are going to be reshares and reshares and reshares and reshares from her. This will be when we talked today and she talked to me about uh doing her personal page. That was her biggest thing was I want people to know that there's fun in recovery. Share that stuff far and wide. And I promised her that I would. And she said that, Michelle was gonna do recovery crawl and that was the mission to keep this stuff out there, to keep this one going. Oh gosh, I hope I don't push buttons through tears and then push the wrong button. Recovery Crawl will always be there for all of us. Thank you. Oh no. The one video Bradley did, she couldn't find her glasses looking everywhere. They were on top of her. So, oh, I loved it. Jimmy, hi Pops, love you, yes. We need to do the next recovery crawl. Yes. Yes. Agreed, Angela. Agreed. That's gonna have to be something that we really, really all get together on and all us old heads and old timers get together and really put something together and let it be as close to the old crawls as possible. Wish I could have been here when you started live. Could have lost them. Well, okay. What's going on? Tisha is we lost a wonderful angel, one of the greatest of all time, one of the builders of this online recovery community that we all utilize and love so much. Her name was Bradley Bagwell. and she founded this thing called the Recovery Crawl, and she basically based it kind of while we used to do a pub crawls back in the day where you go from one bar to the other, da 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 da, and do your thing. So she decided that because there were so many online creators at the time, and I think when we started there weren't that many. There's a quite so many now, and I'd love to think and believe that it was inspired by all of us old timers doing it. That makes me feel good. I hope that that will be my part of my legacy. But we we lost her today, and we're just paying tribute. This, like I said, this was supposed to be something else. I thought we would open the show that I had planned and had scheduled with some loving words for her because we thought she might be able to be here to see it, and that I just wanted to give the whole community an opportunity to show her love, and hopefully she'd be able to watch it because she had some lung issues and she was just too easy to get short of breath, so she couldn't talk a long time to any of us. And so my plan was to open the show and just have everybody who knew her say wonderful things to her so that she, in her moments, felt so loved, felt the love that we have for her. And that was the point. But we ended up losing her this afternoon before this live could start. So that's where we are. Yes. And I don't want to forget that. Prayers for Tommy and all of Bradley's family and friends. And we got to kind of adopt Tommy in all of this too, guys, because I don't know. I don't didn't get to really know Tommy. Kind of met him through video, like randomly once or twice, but he was there for our girl, and so prayers for Tommy. I can't imagine what he's going through right now. Can only imagine. The old timers that inspired me to start my page. Thank you all. I love being here for others. So many were there for me. That makes me my heart full to know, because that's all I ever wanted to do in sharing any of that, is to know that if I can do it, I promise anybody can do it. And share, 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 share. You never know when something you say or just a way you be is going to help save or change somebody's life. We never know. Oh gosh. Oh gosh, I remember her talking to me about the recovery crawl. I literally thought it was people actually crawling. I think she straightened me out. Well, with Bradley, you might not know. You never know what she had up her sleeve. Oh gosh, prayer for her family and friends. Thank you. Just watched the video of the other day of her doing karaoke. I love her sense of humor. She was one of the best. Tommy and his mom especially. I'm so grateful that she had that. Guys, I'm probably to my limit. I know I said we could probably go on all night. Um, but I'm probably to my limit right now. If that's okay with you guys, I hope that I know that she's a big enough energy to be here with all of us. And I know she knows that her community showed up for her to mourn her and to celebrate her. And I'm telling you guys, love on each other. Let's love on each other as much as we can. No pressure. Nobody's got to do anything extra special. Nobody's got to add chaos to their life. But let this reignite our passion for this community. Let this be a reminder to shine our light. and take care of each other. And I love each and every one of you, and I'm so grateful all of you were here. I really appreciate you guys. Tisha's prayers for her family and for all of us who loved her. Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Mary. Maybe we could do another for next Saturday. I think you and Maddie. Yeah, I'd love to do something with Maddie. She said she'd made a promise to Bradley that she would keep the recovery crawl going. That's what she's going to do. Cindy says, God bless y'all. Love you, recovery family. And I've never snotted this much on camera, so I pray that it's not showing as bad as it truly is. I flippin' love you, freaks. I love every one of you. And thank you guys for sharing this with me. This has been an honor. We'll all miss our friend. Take care of yourselves. I love you guys so much. And we'll do this again. Stay in touch with each other. I love you guys. Bye.